Hey guys and gals, and welcome to another Unity video from the team here at BlenderTech.com. If you enjoy it or learn something from the video, consider liking it and to subscribe for more Blender, Unity 3D coding, and all sorts of other CG related videos. Lastly, don't forget our motto, create your way. So today I'm quickly going to show you how to add your own functions and such, add your own menu items that do things, and also how to add custom windows. So obviously we create an editor folder when we want to add any things to our editor. I'm sure that's well known to you. So I've created a new C# script called example editor, and so let's open it up and see how this works. So this is our example editor.c# script. So the only thing we are using as references is the Unity engine, and we need to add Unity editor, obviously. And this time we won't be using mono behavior, we'll be using editor window for maximum flexibility, but mono behavior will work if you're just doing something simple like these here. So anyways, this is my little comment here. This is an example for adding your own editor functions or shortcuts. We don't need an update or start function because this isn't used in the game runtime environment. We will be creating instead our own functions for our menu items. So the first line of code creates a new main menu item, and it works kind of like a directory listing. So we create a menu item, and that it'll show my functions at the top of our screen beside all the other ones, and then when you click it, the next one down will be called create primitives, and when you click that, inside of it will be one called create a cube at origin. And so now we create a function that will work for when this is clicked. So for the above menu item, and it works just like hide and inspector or anything else like that. The function applies to the one above it. Just like hide and inspector, it hides the variable above it. So we create a static void function this time called create cube, or whatever else you want to call it. And so this next line of code, simply game object dot create primitive type dot cube. It just creates a cube at the origin 0, 0, 0, and you can define where you want it created, but this just keeps it simple. So when we click create a cube at origin, it will create a cube at origin by using this little tiny function here. And so next up, we have a new menu item, the exact same directory, but there's another selection called create a sphere at origin, and this time we've added a keyboard shortcut, which by using the percent or modulo sign, whatever you want to call it, equals, means our shortcut will be control equals or control plus, however you want to look at it on the keyboard. It works the same way. We have a static void function called create sphere that creates a sphere at the origin, so same deal. So let's see how that works. So if we go into Unity, we have a new thing up here called my functions. We have a listing called create primitives, and we have two options. So we have create a cube at origin. I'll click it. You see a cube just popped up. I'll double click on it to focus. You'll see it's created a cube at position 0, 0, 0, so at the origin. Just like as if you were to go to game object, 3D object, cube. So anyways, I will delete that. And then we also have create a sphere at origin. However, it has a shortcut control plus equals. So let me press control plus equals. Apparently it's not liking my keyboard shortcuts today. Anyways, if we click that, we get a sphere. Same deal. So moving on, we can also create custom windows, just like the console window, the project window, the inspector window, whatever. We can create our own custom ones. Say we want something that's constantly checking what the values of certain variables are or something. It's really, the sky's the limit. So in this case, we have, and this is all under the same script, we have create a custom window. So we have our variables that we're going to need. We don't need them, but I'm just using them in this case. We have a string called myString that is equal to this string. We have two booleans, one called all-enabled that we'll use to enable or disable extra options. Then we have a boolean variable called myBool that is set to true by default, and then we have a float called myFloat that's equal to 0.123, and then obviously the F for float is needed. So we add another menu item under window, which is the stock Unity window thing. So we're now adding our own stuff into what Unity already has. And this one is called my window, but again, you could call it anything you want. I could call it my window 123. So now we have to create the function for my window. So again, we're going to create a static void function called our custom window. And in this function, it simply it'll simply show the window. However, if it's not opened already, then it opens it. It makes one, and the window will take on the namespace, which in our case is example editor. So the name of our script. So you can see editor window.get window. So basically it's just creating the window. The type of window it's creating is example editor. So this window here. So the void onGUI function is exactly the same as a regular onGUI function, except we're creating our own custom GUI for our window. So we have GUI layout.label, custom window, random settings. So that's the label to our window. It's going to be bold so that we know it's the title. And then we have my string equals, so we're changing my string to a text field, which says basic text field, which is filled with my string. Now we take in our other boolean there, all enabled, and we equal that to this begin toggle group call that says optional settings, which uses our all enabled boolean variable. And then we have a toggle, which my bool, remember it's set to false, I think, by default. I can't remember now. Yeah, it's set to true by default. So we create a toggle, which is called a toggle, which uses my bool. And so then we add in some functionality here. If my bool is equal to false, so whenever my bool is equal to false, then we create a cube and we debug to the console. You toggled the toggle and accidentally created a cube at 0, 0, 0. And then we also have my float, and we create a slider called a slider. Use that's set at my float value with a start and ending slider option of -3, 2, 3, and then we just end the toggle group. And then we also have more functionality we can add. For example, when we close our custom window, we create void on destroy. It just debug.log, so we write to the console, you close the window. So let's test this one out. So back in Unity, we have window, my window 123. So we click on it since it's not already open. It's not in any of our windows here. So it creates it for us. it's a draggable window, it's a floating window. You can change this, however, you can change it so that you can place it some places just like the console, but the way we set it up, it's just a draggable floating window. So remember I said it would take on the namespace, so here it takes on the namespace, and you can actually drag this in there, but it's set in a floating window right now. And so we have, remember, our bold title, custom window, random settings. Then we had a basic text field that we were going to set up that was filled with this is a string, which was our string. Then we had a toggle that we would, our overall Boolean, our global Boolean, I'd call it, called optional settings, that would toggle on a toggle group. So if we toggle that, then it brings up our toggle, which is true by default, and it brings up a slider set by default to 0.123, which again can go to -3 all the way up to +3 as we set the script. And remember the toggle, when we set it to false, so when we uncheck it, it's going to write to the console, you toggled the toggle and created a cube accidentally at 0, 0, 0, and it should create a cube. So if we uncheck it, you toggled the toggle and accidentally created a cube, and it managed to create like 6 cubes. I'm not exactly sure for the reason why it would do that 5 times. I think it has something to do with the onGUI function or something. I would have to investigate more into that. This is just an example, but shows how you can add some more functionality. So this is very, very basic, but hopefully it gives you guys some ideas on how to extend the editor. So anyways, thanks for watching from the team here at BlenderTech.com. If you enjoyed this video and learned something about extending the editor, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. We're on Twitter at twitter.com/blender_tech and Facebook at facebook.com/blendertechpage. If you dislike this video for some reason, please tell us why so we can continually improve our videos based on your community input. We also take requests for videos and call for help, so if you're having a problem with something or if you want to see something, just let us know. So we'll see you guys next time, and remember, create your way.